time. That's
Yeah, probably an
I'm gonna
hour and a
restart.
half or so. We're probably gonna be we'll
All
be
right,
on.
we're live.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Introduce us. Tell us what's been
Hello, I
going
am
on.
Bread Man, aka Dead Man, aka Dead Wars, aka that guy on Pornhub that we don't talk about.
Uh,
Hey, and this is my buddy Ray.
oh, you ever get to like page 450 on Pornhub and you just decide to give up and beat your dick with a fucking bike chain?
I never give up, Ray.
Oh, well.
I will always find the video that I need.
See, I thought you were gonna lock in on the part about beating your dick with a bike chain, but that's listen.
No, I just wrap that shit off and like just hang myself from the ceiling like Bill
Uh, certainly did not do autoerotic asphyxiation.
Clinton. This is more for Hillary than it is for me. But yeah, this is probably gonna be the last time we play this for a while at least. At least on stream.
Yeah, well, look at this might be the game that gets a every so often anniversary stream.
Like I said, this game is fun, but it's fucking balls crazy. It's not what people love about Resident Evil, which I understand that, but part of me has a soft spot.
Yeah. Well, this is sort of
just because it is like a legitimately like functional and like fun game. Like shoot, like Leon. I can't shoot them. Oh, wow, that's a aggressive zoom. Has the reticle not moved to the center? Oh,
the sad thing is I can't aim with the reticle unless I zoom in, which is kind of fucking...
Oh, hey. I just shot Leon with a missile.
That's what you get, Leon, for not fucking Ada Wong. You get a bike chain to it.
You get Ada Wong in a fucking helicopter shooting at you with missiles because you fucking cheated on me, you asshole.
That reminds me of the scene.
This thing has health.
You ever see that movie Rat Race? There's a scene like that where the chick fucking finds the boyfriend cheating on her. It's like one of the little. That's a great movie. It's basically like a more modern twist on It's a Mad World. It's got John Cleese in it, Whoopi Goldberg before she went bad shit. Rowan Atkinson's in it. John Lutwitz is in it. There's I think Cuba Gooding Jr. is in it. Yeah, you know what? We actually should watch that then if you haven't seen it. You would love that movie. It's really it's basically a John Cleese is this eccentric guy who basically sets up like they have to get to Silver Springs, I think, New Mexico, or Silver City, and it's just a hilarious. Oh, Seth Green's in it. You would like it. It's a fun early 2000s comedy. You know, Smash Mouth makes an appearance in the movie too. It's
really?
Yeah, it's actually kind of. It actually is a comedy, but it ends on a somewhat like, it actually has like a good message at the end, even though it's like a ridiculous fucking comedy. Yeah, I
mean, there was a lot of those that came out in that like time.
Yeah, this is like the end of that era.
Yeah,
like those nice comedies.
Like every movie, even though it tried to be goofy, it always tried to end on like a kind of like, hey, we're taking stuff serious now. Like even fucking Van Wilder did that.
Yeah.
Remember when Burt Kreischer tried to claim Van Wilder was like a biography of his life? Like, shut up, dude.
What happened to that guy?
He's still fat, he's still pathetic, and he's still a weirdo.
Yeah, I never really cared for him. It's sort of like that one dude. Oh, what the fuck?
I think I liked his first comedy special, and that's it. I never saw him after that.
Oh, what's his name? And I don't mean to say this like anti-Semitically, but he's Jewish. Ari Shaffir.
Ari Shaffir.
I think that's his name.
I can't remember.
It's the one that Joe Rogan has on all the time, and he's like this. He's actually like a very like scummy human being. Like I don't mean that in like a whimsical way. Like I mean like the guy seems like a legitimate scumbag.
No substance.
Although you disappear in the cutscenes.
I wasted enough time here.
I know I keep aping on that, but I love how you disappear.
He's the one that's on the Protect Our Parks episodes with like Mark Nomad and I believe Shane Gillis. I just never. like and like it's okay when it's okay when he's like in a group, but he's one of those people that when you listen to him one on one, it's just kind of like, what
You
the.
realize he's fucking stupid.
Well, like he has like this bit about how like he drugged one of his best friends and thought it was like a prank, and I'm like, I don't know, like,
Jesus.
yeah, like it's like I don't know, I don't really find it's like
That
he really,
could be really fucking dangerous.
yeah,
Like,
I don't like his
the
level.
only time I would ever do that is if like the only time I would have a guffaw about that is if like I like somehow I had pot brownies in my fridge, like I saw you walking out like into your kitchen with like a plate of them, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, no, like
Well,
he,
like that video you sent me of like that one like that one guy like walking up to his dad, he's like, where'd you get those brownies? From the fridge. There's hash to those. How many did you eat? Stop. What's gonna happen to me? Well, how many did you eat? He's
Yeah.
just standing out in his front yard with his shirt on, holding a shopping bag, like hours later. Oh man, that was a good video. But yeah, if it's a legitimate accident, it's funny. If it's not an accident, you did it on purpose, that's fucked up.
he's just a fucked up guy. Like, it's kind of weird that like Joe Rogan is like so forgiving with him, you know, considering it took an act of God for Joe Rogan to finally agree to have Trump on his show. You know, it's like, okay, you don't want you don't want this guy in your show because he's a scumbag.
Joe
but,
Rogan's a big fucking drug guy anyway.
But he like, I don't know. Like, listen, he's not the worst. Like, Ari Shaffir is not the person I hate the most in comedy, but
Yeah.
like and isn't that something that like comedy has become like this weird like there's this weird shit going on in that industry? I mean, there probably always has been.
It's super incestuous. Like it's like Hollywood.
Yeah.
In fact, pretty much. Oop. I thought we died for a sec.
No happened.
What the hell happened here? Dude, there's a big fucking dinosaur.
I mean,
Let me in.
once again, I think that's why Cat Williams kind of had that fucking giant rant at the beginning of the year
Well,
on.
it's the same thing with Jim Carrey. Like, if anybody like knows Jim Carrey's opinions about Hollywood, like he's officially like at the point where he's like I know I'm a part of this like kind of horrendous thing, but like the best I can do is like try to be the best part of it.
Which is why he's making those Sonic the Hedgehog movies.
Well, that's why I imagine.
I don't even mean that as a joke. Like, I legitimately, I don't even mean that. Like, I know some people might interpret me as making a joke there, but like, legitimately, like he's clearly over all the bullshit. It's kind of like it's almost like he had. It's almost like he had like his own Truman Show experience, where like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and Chappelle, like, I also, you know, think about Dave Chappelle, a guy that basically, like, stepped out of comedy for, like, close to a decade, like, at least from, like, the major stand-up after Chappelle's show, right? It wasn't really until, like, it was, like, from, like, 2006 to, like, 2016, we hardly heard from him because, like, clearly whatever he went through with, like, those bigwigs, like, fucked him so badly. Like, you know,
it didn't help that people were like coming up to him and bothering him when he was like out to fucking lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
Like that's the worst thing about being a celebrity. Like nobody ever knows how to leave you the fuck alone. Even if you're like one of these people who isn't trying to sell yourself as God's gift to fucking humanity. Leon, can you walk up and punch him?
Alrighty. Is this match up with the actual like Leon's campaign?
I actually have no idea. Like I don't remember there being like a constant barrage from a freaking Huey flying around. Shooting him in the butt. Taking up the ass, bitch.
TJ Kirk, the amazing atheist, could withstand that fire.
I see bananas. He's letting him loose.
God. You know, I kind of cringe.
Eventually, the Amazing Atheist would be a Resident Evil boss.
I don't know, I kind of
Fire
cringe at
bananas.
myself that I even watched that guy back in the day. Not that he was as fucking insufferable as he is now,
Yeah.
but like, you ever go back and like look at some of those, like if you go back and watch some of Armored Skeptic shit from when he was least relevant, it's like, this guy wasn't even really doing anything that special. He's just some fucking asshole that used, you know, like, out of any movement, I think the atheism movement did the most damage to itself just by like the people that ended up becoming the representatives.
And always
Well, you have
was.
a man who, like, would not stop fucking around with a schizophrenic girl who was not good. He kept giving her fucking drugs. That's the Amazing Atheist, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, you had the Armored Skeptic who was so pompous and up his own ass. The second somebody disagreed with him, he'd fly off the fucking handle. Like, you had a... Like, oh god, remember when Medicare was like, I forget the names of all these people, but he was talking to a group of these fucking dick sucks.
Was that the
And, like-
Atheism Plus people?
Yeah, and like, they were literally like talking about like censorship tactics and shit, like, that the left is always guilty for, but they're like, no, it's okay when we do it, and it's like, no, it's fucking not, dude. Like, the reason why we, like, started, like, bitching about this shit is because we wanted it to stop. We don't want to start doing it to the other side.
Yeah.
Like, the moment you start doing that, your point is immediately moot. You're just a power-hungry cocksucker.
Well, once again, that's the problem all these people fall into. It's like once they have turned the tables, they don't realize that it's better to just, like, move on and not try to do retribution. You know, it's this pattern too. Like we were talking about this before we were streaming, like how like that one guy that did videos with Max and Joji back in the day is now like, oh, I'm so sorry I made edgy jokes. Like, what a fucking retard. And we were commending Joji, you know, Filthy Frank, because like, okay, yeah, he moved on. He didn't want to do that shit anymore. But he didn't like
he
tear
just
down
broke
his
loose
fans.
and he's like, thank you for all these years. Like, thank you for being fans. And,
Yeah.
like, that's it.
Yeah. He's occasionally
But, like,
even
no,
like
everybody
positively
for some
referenced
reason
that
has
shit.
this fucking... Well, everybody has this fucking embarrassment of riches, and it gets really fucking annoying. Like, you aren't sorry because you're all, like, actually sorry you said something racist and fucked up. You're sorry because now you're the privileged fucking class, and you have an embarrassment of riches. Like, you have the privilege to, like, look at your past and be like, wow, I got here through that.
Yeah.
Well,
They basically
I gotta
go
make sure
Hollywood.
nobody else does that.
They go Hollywood. They get a PR asshole. They want to sell some bullshit.
Well,
I mean,
want it all. They basically want it all to themselves, so they
Yeah.
don't want other people getting famous the same way they did. And it's a fucked up way to do things.
yeah. Well, it's just like the biggest, and one of the earliest examples is probably Ethan Klein, H3H3, because he, as soon as
Ethan Klein, Asmongold, fucking that motherfucker Chris Ray-Gun. Like, I actually really liked him back.
Well,
in the day. Like, that-
Asmongold is sort of interesting because he'll occasionally still like have takes that are very like reasonable, and like in
a
all.
broken clock is right twice a day.
Well, I wouldn't say he's a broken clock. You know, this is once again, Mr. You know, listen, you can't just like say the guy's wrong all the time. He's an asshole, but like he's wrong and right about 50-50. But let me just say this.
Well,
because
I take everything he says with a grain of salt because I don't think he actually believes a fucking word he's saying.
well, you know what I believe? I believe that motherfucker. I believe that motherfucker needs fucking help. Because if I was a
He needs to learn how to take care of his house.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Listen, I'm not a neat freak. Like occasionally, you know, sometimes I have dishes that pile up. Not like, you know, anything crazy, but you know, like maybe you wait till the next morning to do them. Or you have a little bit of like trash, like, you know, that you need to take care of. But that motherfucker is a multi-millionaire and he lives like a fucking hoarder. That's fucking, like, pay for a fucking maid at that point, dude. Like, it's okay. You have money, do it. But yeah, I agree. He's a little bit of an asshole. But, you know, here's my thing. I'm going to stick up for him. Because you know what he said? He said something that was like a legitimately factual statement about a group of people and their culture basically wanting to, you know, wanting to destroy another group of people in their culture, regardless of what you think of that other group and their people, those people and what they're doing in the world, because a lot of people have an issue with it, and I certainly have my criticisms. But like, you know, he's talking about the Palestinians, and he says something that might be a little bit messy, but in all honesty, it's an accurate statement to a lot of what their actual like plans are. And he
Yeah.
gets canceled for it. He has to, disavow
Okay.
himself. He has
Last
to
item on
cancel
the
his.
list.
He has a PC company that he got fired from. How? I don't understand this shit, Fred. Listen. I don't understand how somebody creates a company and they don't do doctor disrespect where they're out there sexting, allegedly sexting or whatever. Not sexting, but whatever. Inappropriate messaging. I don't want to get sued by the fucking asshole, but I think that's what he admitted to is inappropriately messaging someone that
Oh,
was.
good. So he gave like a little innocent kind of wink, and it's like, I'm sorry.
But it's like, well, like motherfucker, you admitted to being
Fuck
a
him.
creep. Yeah, once again, he admitted to being a creep. Fuck him. Fuck everything about him. But like, here's my point. It's like this guy said something that wasn't politically correct, and like he gets dropped too. And it's funny because like these platforms are so inconsistent. Like YouTube will like ban someone, but then like someone else they'll keep, and then Twitch is very, I think, much more like weird when it comes to
I think
banning
there was
though.
a point to us saving these two.
Well, she looks like she gave him a happy ending, so that's about is
I don't know. She's on top, Ray.
well, once again, this man he had a little bit of
He
a
gave her a happy ending.
proclivity, but that's all right. He's a maybe it was a Taiwanese lady boy or something. We're in a generic Asian city, right? Did they give us an actual name of this city?
Yeah, I think it does have a name.
Wuhan, China.
It's basically like Shanghai or fucking Hong Kong or some shit.
Yeah. But my point I was trying to make, I wasn't trying to like poo-poo what you were saying, but like
No rest.
No,
Asmund-
I understand. But it's like,
Asmund Gold is an asshole, but like he's far less of like the Chris Ray gun. Like Chris Ray gun just completely because like the funny part wasn't he fucking that feminist and like people were thinking, oh, maybe he'll like
he was screwing Toke.
Lacey
Ray.
Green.
He's just writing down on the yeah, he was screwing Lacey Green, but like
I think that
don't
broke
think
him.
that's what like caused him to like change his mind, because Lacey like turned out to be a very sort of moderate person in the end anyways, once all of her like feminist friends like threw her out to pasture, like
Yeah.
just for accepting an apology from Sargon of all people. Because like
Sargon kind of went the opposite
actually,
direction. Like he's basically advocating.
Lacey, oddly enough, has like still remained pretty consistent on her views when like she kind of like started talking to more conservative voices of the day.
Yeah, well,
But like, it's my biggest issue with Chris Raygun is like he never really even said anything all that bad. Just like I don't think this fucking one dipshit who hangs around Max Mofo said anything all that bad. Like they just like found their in, and like I don't know, the cynical part of me like thinks that the only reason they're like apologizing is to make sure nobody else can like do the things they did and become famous off of it. Not because they think it's bad, but because they don't want anybody else in the club.
yeah. Well, I think, you know what, Fred, that's actually a very astute point that I never really thought of, and I think you're 100% right, because I've always thought it's that they're legitimately just trying to do a PR thing, and I think that that's still part of it, but I agree, I think you're right. I think that they know that listen, that's an easy way to achieve, being a shock dog is actually an easy way to achieve fame, you know what I mean?
Well, it works for fucking Opie and Anthony, and like, those guys are legitimate fucking dirtbags at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But like, they never did anything on par with Opie and Anthony, but for some reason they want you to believe that they did, and they want you to believe that, oh, I'm a better person now. It's like, no, motherfucker, you're not. You're actually fucking worse. You should be embarrassed.
Well, that's part of the reason why, like, I do have, like, even though I think he's a scumbag, I do have, like, a weird, like, almost respect for Keemstar, because he's never denied what he is.
He's always portrayed himself as a fucking douche canoe. Like, which, in a way, I still hate the motherfucker. I still think he's a piece of shit. He, like, basically sicked a bunch of people on an old man and called him a pedophile when he had no basis for that.
He's done a lot of fucked up shit over the years.
But it's like, at least the motherfucker's consistent. Like,
Yeah.
that's the weird thing to say. Like, I don't watch Keemstar. I don't fucking like Keemstar. I hate the people who fucking suck his dick every fucking day. But you want to know what? He doesn't ever take off a mask because he was never wearing one.
I don't know, that beard could count as a mask, couldn't it?
He actually, like, what was it? The fucking Criticals podcast. Like he basically like said on stream that, hey, you know, some guys actually like tattoo like their face to like make it look like their beard is fuller, and I'm like, Keemstar, do you have a face tattoo that makes you look like you have a big beard?
Well, that is what's made his Lol Call podcast successful. Is like Boogie and Wings and Keemstar, they do all legitimately dislike one another, and all of their viewers pretty much hate them. Why do people watch though? Because it's like watching it's like watching a train wreck. It's a legitimate hate watching thing, and it's become it's actually a very brilliant strategy. Like even
finally something actually like monetized like hate watching to a degree. Like
it's that
like,
result of blood
waiting
sports.
for it.
It's basically what blood sports was always going to evolve into.
Yeah. Well, blood sports never went away. I hate people who like said like, oh, the blood sports like fad. It barely lasted that long and it died like a quick and violent death. And it's like, no, motherfucker, it was always around. It's still going. It's still happening. Stop pretending that these things just disappear.
It's just that the format
stop
changes.
Pretending that like stop pretending that you don't find fucking enjoyment in shit like this. Like you're kidding yourself.
Yeah, like even DSP has embraced fucking drama to some degree. Like,
well, it's like it's time immemorial. Because first it was fucking reality TV.
Howard
Stern. Was all the fucking like shit on Howard Stern and Opie and Anthony. Then it evolved to like YouTube shit, like the anti SJW stuff, which was not cringy. Like a majority of it had a really good fucking point because it was a bunch of douchebags muscling their way into media that you allowed to take over media, and that's why we're suffering with it now, asshole. Like, seriously, fuck off with all this. Oh, I actually regret. You should not regret because all these people are fucking terrible.
Oh, what makes it even more, I mean, I don't know if it's sad or hilarious. It's one of those things that's like you can't help but laugh, but you also are like, it's disgusting, is how these people keep referencing like events like Gamergate like it was something. It's basically their Watergate. It's like they can't
their Waterloo. They can't admit that they actually like legitimately like actually lost some ground on something. Now, mind you, they gained it back quick, but it chapped their ass so bad that they will never forget it. That people actually voted with their wallet, like people always tell you to do, and like they got in a lot of trouble for it. Like they lost a lot of like different things because of Gamergate. But like the only problem is nobody held on to that ground, and when we finally got a chance to speak our point at a big like fucking press event, what do we do? Oh, we just want to be left alone. No, motherfucker! We want these people to stop fucking with the media. Because they don't fucking belong there. They're not fans. They're not even good developers. Half the people are just fucking dipshits looking for a room to rape somebody in.
Yeah. I mean, the one silver lining of all of this is it's also like a drawback. It's like this has become like part of the like a greater culture war, right? And like it's become more widespread. Like people made fun of Sargon when he said, if Donald Trump would just tweet about Gamergate, it's like, okay, that might have been a little bit cringy, but like the greater point of like this culture war kind of erupting is like I
mean, he wasn't wrong when he said like if Donald Trump tweeted about Gamergate, people would lose their fucking minds.
They would.
He's right. Because like Donald Trump tweets about anything, people lose their fucking minds.
It's just that Sargon wanted to be like the leader of this fucking movement when he should have realized that it's just a movement of multiple people. And like now that motherfucker, like I like Sargon to some extent, but like if you've ever like looked at his recent politics, that man, he's one step away from like calling for the fucking British to like restore the empire and basically become a fucking absolute monarchy. Like,
he like that. In a way, I almost appreciate that because he's an actual statesman for his own country.
Oh yes.
Like,
Very
how do
strongly.
I describe it?
Strongly so. Woo. Are
Like,
you
Like,
British?
how do I say this? Because, like,
He's turning into Wallace from Wallace and Gromit.
I'll pass.
Can
I not do anything? There we go.
Ah.
I have to find a good, like, sort of figure to tie Sargon to. Because, like, he's a statesman, but he's a fucking nutty fucking lunatic.
Yeah, because remember, like, when he started out, he was the classical liberal, which is kind of, I think,
Yeah.
where we are politically. Like, these kind, you know, like, maybe a little bit to the right, but not, like,
well,
insane.
I-
But
like,
he's, like, he's...
I know I sound like a big fence sitter, but I don't really like tying myself to any political ideology.
Oh, look at you.
It's just, it's a bunch of wasted time, and it drives people crazy.
Yeah, but Fred, classical liberalism isn't really, like, a set political ideology. It just means, like, you know, do you value free, like technically both...
I'll just call myself a moderate and be done with it.
Yeah, but moderate can mean anything. Classical liberal just means, like...
Moderate can be anything. Perfect.
Yeah, well, can I finish my point, though?
Sure.
Oh, okay, thank you. What I was trying to say, if I can get it completed, is classical liberal just means, like, you're an advocate of freedom of speech, basically live and let live. That's what the intent of that movement was. And, like, it could be a conservative thing, it could be a liberal thing, but, like, that's what that movement meant. And it's like, that's where most people would find some kind of common ground. But the problem is, it's, well, like, once again, okay, we'll say that's what a moderate, like, it used to be the overwhelming majority moderate, and then you'd have, like, more technical disagreements, which would become the political parties, you know. But my point
The only
is,
reason I did, I'll let you finish.
no, I'm done. You go.
But like all of these movements just get like bogged down in minutia, and every single time they get co-opted, and I'm just sick and tired of like being
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm part of this ideology, and every single piece of that ideology turns to shit, and everybody in it becomes a douchebag. I'm sick of seeing that, so I don't want to. Like, I officially am done with picking political ideologies. I'm not picking a side, but I know what I believe. I'm not sitting on the fence. I just know what's clearly truthful and clearly lying.
But when you know, yeah, I know, but I think you're misconstruing, like, political party and political ideology, because, like,
I know.
like, I mean, people do that all the time. Like, if you say to someone, well, like, conservatism, what do they automatically think? They think Republican. But within the Republican Party, there's there's conservatives, there's traditionalists. It's just, look, I think I value what you're saying. I think you're right, and not like I think that's a better way of, like, doing things, because, like, for the longest time I was an independent, right? I didn't want to have any. I mean, I vote every year, but I just wanted to stay an independent. This is a cool sequence, by the way.
It's very Alien. Was it Alien Resurrection? Even though that was a bad movie.
You know, but it's a bad movie that has, like, its moments. You know, I'll die on that hill.
Like, cause in Alien Resurrection, like Ripley, or Clone Ripley, basically does the same thing. She blows up a clone and, like, kills, like, an entire lab of people. And then you have Ron Perlman, like, like in the background, and I think he just says something along the line of, like, and then it's just like he's like, she's being emotional. Typical fucking woman. It's just like, what?
But let me say this.
She found out she's an experiment.
I think the overall thing that I can meet you in the middle of your point is that people should not become set in their ways with this, like, identity bullshit, be it politics or anything.
Well, it's like, yeah.
Well,
like, never let never drink the Kool-Aid. Like, you can have any, like, political, like, mindset you want, but, like, the moment it turns into dogma, you've lost the fucking plot.
Well, and, like, let me tell you, like where my, like, personal, like, perspective factors in. But I do think you're gonna say, like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, I was an independent from when I was 18 until, like, now, so I was an independent for over a decade, and, like, I would typically vote for Republicans, but, like, not all the time. It depended on the candidate. But, like, I basically wouldn't adhere to voting for them because I had issues, and I still do, with the Republican Party, but the only reason I'm currently registered Republican is because Trump has basically become like the voice of that party. And like if after assuming he wins and they don't commit fraud, which they probably will, but assuming like he, you know, is able to steer the party, I'll stay a member of that party as long as I feel like it's fighting for the average American, which it's now doing. Now, any sense that they are starting to become that like fucking neocon party like they were under George Bush, I will fucking hit the eject button and become an independent again. Like I don't. That's the problem, and I agree with you. That's the problem with. I think it was just a semantics debate we had, which I do because I'm a little bit of a fucking asshole. But like, I agree with what you're saying. I just think that like people should be okay with like saying, oh, I'm a liberal or I'm a conservative or whatever, but they shouldn't let that define everything they do. It's just like you know this. Like there's people that are Christian. But then there are people
who are obsessed.
There's people who make every single point and waking moment solely about like proselytizing everybody to their fucking beliefs, and it's like that's bullshit. Like you're not actually doing anybody a favor by doing that. Like have you ever had? And it's basically like that's what like Muslim fundamentalists do, right? Like every little thing they do is Allah Akbar. Like the fucking Jews.
Like the moment you like disagree with them on anything, like there's a 75% chance that a news article comes out about you getting your fucking head cut off in a fucking honor killing.
Yeah.
Because these people are so fucking like bought into the ideology that just makes them nuts. And I'm like that's why I have such a big like kind of pet peeve. Don't just follow along because you think it's like the right thing to do, because no matter what, like my viewpoint is the right one. Like have an open mind at the very least, and like don't let yourself drown in like this like sort of crazy mindset of buying into everything without questioning anything.
Well, look at when we were in school. Like it's kind of funny because like
we watched like Colbert. We watched
liberal
Jon Stewart.
brainwashed.
Yeah, well, it's not. I wouldn't even consider it liberal brainwash. It was the necessary like viewpoint at the time that got people thinking again. And the problem is, those free thinkers grew up, and Jon Stewart and Colbert regressed. Like they bought into the ideology. They decided that like dogma was way more important than actually opening your eyes and looking at the bigger picture. And it's like it's at this point where it's like people are just doing things without meaning. And I actually mentioned this, I do believe, at the end of one of my Disco Elysium streams. Don't ever do anything unless you can link it back to something that means something to you. Like it's got to be an important thing that you have thought about and you have made an actual decision about. Don't just go along with stuff. Actually think for yourself and be like, do I actually believe these things? Do I actually think the way I do? Do I actually want to go through with like voting for this person who keeps telling me these honeyed words? Or do I actually want to vote for this person who everybody in the world tells me is evil, but like I believe is not? It's like you got to make your own fucking decisions, but don't buy in wholesale. That's when you lose the fucking plot.
I think what you said is very succinct, and
I think it was a bunch of word salad, but hopefully it gets to somebody.
I think this is what people need to do. They need.
But like, I'm just asking people to like be critical, like understand that you can like something, but when that something becomes not what you liked before, have the common sense and self-respect to be like, no, it's not the thing I fell in love with anymore. It's like relationships, it's like TV shows, it's like movies, it's like politics.
Yeah. Well, look at the example I'm thinking about is like Star Wars, because look at how much that series has fallen from the wayside.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the ultimate question people should have. It's like, how much, if it makes sense to like stick around and let something, try to help a series like work its kinks out, like the people that are trying to do that at Warhammer, all the power to them. But at the same time, there is a necessary point where you have to just be like, okay, let me just enjoy what what made this great. And if these people want to basically like take the corpse of something and constantly resuscitate it, it's just like when the Democrats keep trying to like appeal to like these idiots in the Midwest that used to vote for them because they're part of the unions. It's like, well, you know, at some point these people are either going to wake up and smell the coffee, or they're just going to be stuck in this feedback loop where they think it's 1960 fucking 4 and that the Democrats are still like fighting for them and them everyman. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, it's like another big issue is like if you really have that much of a passion for like the thing that you see, that you can actively see that's being destroyed, and you don't like that, don't ever be afraid to like take steps to like try and join that industry. It's not impossible, it's just very fucking hard. Apathy is the thing that is making sure that media is like getting worse. It's basically what Almighty Lolly said. Like, if you really care so wholeheartedly, don't just sit there and bitch. Actually try to make the difference. There are people who have like worked themselves into like the industries that they care about and are actually trying to do some good.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that are like crowdfunding their own stuff, and assuming that you don't like forget that you have international shipping and need $50,000 more to like get shipping, then it should be fine.
Yeah.
That was just, all right. That's a
joke. It was a wholehearted, honest mistake.
Yeah, I know, but listen, listen, I think people are being assholes about that, and I think that, you know, people just make mistakes. It is kind of, I will kind of laugh at like it's kind of like if I had success, I would do something that stupid. I would be like, yeah, you know.
Dude, no doubt. Like I would unironically, because for those who don't know, we're talking about Ghost in the Badlands, is it a comic book or a novella?
It's a graphic novel, and it's a great one. I own it. I read it. I really liked it.
But it's basically made by the YouTuber Razor Fist, and I don't know if he has like any sort of like art page or YouTube channel, but George, what's his last name?
It's something Greek that begins with A.
But pretty much like it's just a big old oversight that he didn't like really factor in like the exchange rate for currency, and
which
honestly,
I think is true. I don't think like people like look at, I'm making fun of like the stupidity, but I am not one of these assholes that's trying to like drudge up drama, because like I think that's retarded. Like, okay, like people make fuck ups, and it's like, okay, clearly they should have been a little bit more like thinking about like maybe we shouldn't like have one distributor, but like people make mistakes, right?
Sorry, I just got stunned. Yeah, people are human, like faults and all. Like nobody's ever gonna be truly altruistic, but you should always try to strive to be the best person you can be. But sorry, I got stunned for a sec, because apparently at my job, I'm not gonna say any more than at my job, somebody stole $200 from the registers.
Well,
holy fuck.
Was it a customer or a employee?
It had to have been an employee, because nobody reported a robbery.
Ah. Oh, so is this breaking news?
It's breaking news for me. I just randomly got texted.
Jesus. Well, listen, I might need a crack.
It's fucking water off my back, oil on top of the surface. I don't give a fuck. I got screwed.
You really shouldn't, because that's someone else's. That's the one thing.
Well, it's like, I know I did my job right. That's the only thing that fucking matters. And unfortunately, like a job that I've given my like life and pride to, basically.
Boy, did I do bad!
Fucking. Holy shit. That's 40?
Well, once again,
yeah, I was less than half your shot.
Yeah, but let me just say this. Once again, in all fairness, all I had was that sniper rifle section.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. That's mean. Oh, normal is good.
Yeah. No,
Play
but
the entire game on normal.
you know what?
What'd you want to do after this? Did you want to stop the stream real quick and
No.
play something else?
Oh, if you want to restart the stream, yeah, in a few minutes. But like, what do you want to do just to keep our viewers tantillated and titillated and?
Shit. I unfortunately still have not bought the triple threat of Dead Rising, so we can't play 2. Any game that you can think of? I'm down for anything, really.
Let me go through my games and apps. I don't know what's that? Well, I figure we're gonna do something spooky, right? We could do
Ooh, okay.
because it is kind of the Halloween season. Didn't we
Is this a Jake cutscene? Why is it playing this again?
uh uh
Didn't we already see this cutscene?
oh, hold on, I already backed that. Oh yeah, I believe we did. We absolutely
No,
did.
wait, no. This was the teaser for like Jake's game, and then everybody was like, "We fucking hate Jake. All my homies hate Jake," and that fucking game died. It was like Ezio.
Yeah, I mean, as much as this game wasn't as bad as people made it out to be, I think it is kind of good that it did lead to them kind of retooling the series into what it's now today.
I mean, if anything, even though I still say people should play original, lost my train of thought for a sec. Original RE2 and RE4, like the fact that we have remakes of such a high quality, is actually pretty good. Like
Yeah.
for the fact that they're trying to revive this series legitimately, but it's a shame because they fucking pistol executed Dead Rising again.
Yeah, that's the thing with
All my
Japanese
favorites get to
remake.
die. Everybody else's favorites get to live.
Well, but I don't know. What are you in the mood for? We got a lot of spooky choices. I mean,
All
we
right, let's cut the stream here and say goodbye to anybody who joined us for the 45 minutes that
listen.
we
We
were
had
streaming.
we this was a ferocious stream. We had a lot of fucking politically charged things.
Like
'Cause,
most of it was just us bitching about like people being retards.
we were bitching at each other, bitching at the world, bitching about ourselves.
Eventually, trust me, if I ever get famous on YouTube, I will apologize about using words like retard, faggot, dickhead, cunt, dyke, faggot. Because I gotta
Ah,
apologize for faggot twice, maybe 3 times.
oh, Jesus Christ.
Scum sucking fucking pool of miasma.
You listen, folks.
That's gonna be when the rift cuts open when Kamala like cheats to win the election and sacrifices a million babies, but somehow she's still not the worst person on earth just to summon through the portal.
Fred's got Tourette's, people. It's okay. It was just a little accident. All right. Hey, listen. The man has the right to speak. That's
Everybody has the right to say as much horrible bullshit as you want.
rat shit,
Just
bat shit, dirty old twat. 69
well,
assholes tied in a knot. Hooray! Lizard shit. Fuck.
try to have some humility and understand people are gonna judge you for the words you say. Like you can say awful things about people, but if you're gonna like level some like heavy accusations, make sure you got proof to back it up. It could get you in a lot of trouble. Or
Placenta.
just say like so and so in Hollywood is a pedophile. You'll probably be right. But anyway,
Mickey
let's drop
Mouse
the
is a
stream for now and
pedophile.
find the next game.
Yeah,
So
thank
thank you
you.
for anybody who joined us, and we'll be back in a minute.
Godspeed.